Hello guys and welcome back. In this lesson we are going to look at creating predicate methods. A predicate method returns the boolean value with the true or false based on a condition. We are going to look at two possible predicate methods in this lesson. Checking to see if the number is even and checking to see if the number is whole. There is typical types of situations where you want to write a predicate method. Before I start the lesson, if you didn't subscribe to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for more lessons. First of all, I'm gonna checking if the number is even or odd. So I'm gonna write this method. I'm gonna call that is even. We always start predicate methods with a prefix like is or has that kind of lets you know what the method is supposed to do. So I'll write static boolean because these methods return true or false, and then we are going to write is even, and we will do this on integers, although we can do this with any data type. And then int number will be our parameter. All we have to do to determine if the number is even is take the number modulus 2, and if the result is 0 then the number is even, because that means 2 divided evenly into the number. So we are going to say if number mod 2 equals 0, return true, else return false. And that's all we have to do. Predicate methods are always easy to write once you understand the process involved, and that use usually a simple or not a simple test such as number mod 2 is equal to 0, and then you need a return true or a return false, and that's usually all you have need to check. So let's write a little program to test this method. We will prompt the user to enter a number, so let's create a scanner object. First, scanner input is equal to new scanner system dot in. Then we need a variable for a number, int num, and then we'll prompt the user enter a number system dot out dot print, enter a number, and then we will say if is even num, then system dot out dot println num plus is even, else system dot out dot println num plus is odd. And that should be all we have to test. Let's save and run the program to see what we did. Java C chapter part 4 .java. Oops, I forgot to prompt the user enter the number. Num is equal to input dot next int. Let's do it again. Java chapter part 4. Enter a number. Let's test an even number first. 22 is even. Let's run it again. Let's test it with an odd number. 113 is odd. So predicate methods are easy to write. They are returning true or false values. They always begin with a little prefix that indicates that we are checking to see for some conditions. Is even, has value, has content, is odd, and so on. Let's try one more example. Another thing we might want to do is we might want to look for vowels and a string for whatever reason. So to do that, we need a predicate method that tests to see if a letter is a vowel. So we are going to write static. I just keep another code up there. Boolean is vowel and some char C, and again it's just an if statement. If C is equal to A, or C is equal to E, or C is equal to I, or C is equal to O, or C is equal to U, then return true, else return false, and then close the body. So we simply get a character and test it to see if it is A, E, I, O, U. Return true if it is, return false if it is not. So let's write a program to test that. Let's comment this portion. We'll need a string, sentence, or some type, and then we prompt the user to enter the sentence. So we need a scanner object. Scanner input is equal to new scanner system dot in, and now you'll prompt the user system dot out dot print enter a string. Then you'll write sentence is equal to input dot next line. Then we'll write a for loop that travels from the beginning of the sentence to the end of the sentence, testing each character using the char add method, and then passing it to is vowel to tell us if that letter is a vowel or not. So we will say for int pause is equal to 0, pause is less than sentence dot length plus plus pause. Then if is vowel sentence dot char at pause. For that character, let's have it print it out system dot out dot print sentence dot char at pause, and that's all we have the program to do. So let's save and run it. Let's first compile it again, then run it. Java chapter 10 part 4. Enter a string. Let's write now is the time. And there are vowels, the O and now, the I and is, the E and the I and E and the time. This particular method is simply takes a character out of a string. Well, actually could be out of anything. The method doesn't know where the character is coming from, of course. It just get the character that's the parameter looks to see. If there's A, E, I, O, U, return true. If it is, returns false otherwise. By program simply starts at the beginning of the string through the end of the string and check each character to see if it is a vowel or not, and return the character if it wasn't be a vowel. So that's how you write the predicate method. That's not really all that complicated, but I do kind of differentiate from other types of methods, like we have methods to convert temperature. These predicate methods simply returns a true or false value based on some condition that you testing for. But they are quite useful and they can make your program much more easier to read and maintain. So let's move on to the next lesson, where we are going to talk about another type of method, the void method, where we don't return data but we simply perform some type of task within the method definition. So if you have any question or suggestion, please let me know in the comment section below.